Good morning, everyone. How are you all this morning? I'm a minute late, I think. I had to make a cuppa, and I do it every day. I make a cuppa, I put it on the desk, and I very seldom touch it. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Holly. Hi, Kim. And Roz. Lovely to see you all this morning. So, yeah, we have a meeting on a Tuesday morning, which usually sets me back a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Alrighty. So, you've had your test and it's all done. That's right, Roz. We do always question ourselves. And I hope that that your results are good results. Okay, now it's very overcast here today, and after I finish this, I have to do the dreaded shopping. Oh, I thought I left the door open for a minute. Yes, so I'm doing another diorama card this morning. I'm hoping I can remember how to put it together. I've done it several times, not done it, but I practiced it several times. So I'm just hoping that I don't make a mess of it. But there we go. Oh, thanks, Roz. That's lovely. So if you're watching, whether it's live or whether it's on the replay, if you haven't already, if you could subscribe to the channel, it helps to get our channels out there and, make them more available, if you like. So if you could do that, that would be absolutely wonderful. And if you press the little bell thing, you can also be notified whenever I come online. So that would be great. Thank you so much. And if you're on Facebook, if you could like and follow the page, that would also be brilliant. So thank you very much. You're looking forward to seeing it, Holly. Diaphragm. Oh dear. Oh, that's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Oh, excuse me. All right. Well, I'm not going to waste a lot of time this morning chattering because we went a little bit over yesterday, and I'm hoping that today we won't, but you never know, do you? So I'll just go straight. God, that's made me laugh now. Oh, Suzanne, no worries about being late. I know where you were. I was just saying that we have our meeting on a Tuesday morning, and it makes it a bit awkward, doesn't it? Alrighty, so let me go down to the desk, and hopefully today we're not, oh, see, it's mucking around again. Maybe not so much. I looked for a setting actually today when I came on. I looked for a setting to see if there was anything about the camera, and I'm sure somewhere I've seen there's one that says autofocus and one that's not autofocus, and I think it's on autofocus and it shouldn't be. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Good morning, Kerry. How are you this morning? Alrighty, so our quote for today is the magic is in you. And that's where it all starts. Everything starts from us. Okay, so another little quote there. And a couple of things. September's mum's birthday. So she's asked me to share the gifts with you. If you place an order of $50 or more with me, I'll send you a gift. And if you place an order of 100 or more, I will also include a card kit from my August card. So I've already had a couple of people do that. So that's absolutely wonderful. The card of the month circle. What's the date today? The 16th. We've got until the 25th to pay the $30 for pickup or $35 by post. This is Australia only. I'm sorry. You'll receive a pack containing an instruction PDF, all cardstock and DSP ready cut to make 4 beautiful cards. Payment is required by September the 25th. That gives me a chance to get everything sorted out and get it off to you. Good morning, Leslie. How are you this morning? Okay, and also I'm doing a kit fun day. So you'll receive the kit, Road to Christmas, everything you need to make the 8 cards, the card bases, envelopes, adhesive, sentiments, and the full instructions are all included in the kit. So that'll be on Saturday the 25th of October from 9:30 to 12. There'll also be a little bit of a morning tea. So bookings and payment for that one needs to be by the 10th of October so that I can put the order in for the kits. So that's what I've got going on. All right, today's card. I have pre-cut a fair bit of the stuff so that I'm not going through the whole thing with you like I did yesterday, and it'll make it a little bit easier. There's a few things I haven't done. So we need one piece of card which is 6 by 6 inches, which we're keeping like this. We have one piece of card which is 7 inches by 6 inches, and we're scoring it at 6 inches. And then we have another piece of card which is 6 by 7.5 inches, and we're scoring that at 1 inch, 6 inches, and 7 inches. Okay, so we have that. Then we have a piece of card which goes onto that piece there. Okay, so I think it's, let me see what that one is. It's 5 3/4 by, what have I got? 5 1/4. 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I cut that out. That's to go onto there. Then we also have another piece which is 5 inches by 6 inches, and as you can see, I've already embossed that one. So I used the join together embossing folder for that one. All right, so I think that's, now we also need a piece of acetate which is 4 7/8 by 5 7/8. This is not essential. If you don't want to put the acetate in, you don't have to. And I'm also using textured notes. I'm also using the textured notes dies to cut out my frame. So my frame is going to be cut out of here. So we're going to have quite a large gap, which is really good. So I'm going to put that through now. And I might even just pop a tiny tad of, because I want that to stay right where I put it. I don't want it wandering off all over the, now that's silly, isn't it? Because yes, there it is. Forget I said that. All right, so trying to get that fairly equal. And I am going to tape it down today because it would look a bit odd if it was all over the joint. There we go. And I'm just going to pop that through. I'm making sure I got it up the right way because what? Oh, look at that. Helps if you put. I was wondering why that wouldn't go through. I didn't have both of my plates on there. Ah, that's better. Okay. So I treated myself to a new top plate. So my bottom plate went as my other top plate went as my bottom plate. So I'm just going to take that off of there. And I have that piece to use for something else. And I'll pop this back in here because otherwise I'll lose it. I know me. So before we do, what is that? Oh dear. Must have been something on this folder because I haven't drawn any marks on this one. All right. So the next thing I want to do is put the acetate on. I'm going to do that with, now hang on, I have to think about this. That piece is going to go onto there. That is going to go. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to pop the acetate on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put tear and tape around the edges. That way then we won't see it. And the tear and tape is good and strong as well. So I'll just pop. Now this design is one of Sam Calcott's. Okay, so I'll take, oops, that's stuck to me. I don't know about the paper. Put it up there. Now, best thing is just to burnish that down so that you know that it's nicely stuck. Usually this also makes it easier to take the top off. Here's hoping. All right, so I'm just going to pull the top off all the way around, trying not to put my fingers on it. Now, if you need to clean your acetate, you can use rubbing alcohol, or the other thing that I use sometimes is what I use to clean my glasses. Right, where's that piece of acetate? Here it is. So I'm going to put the piece of acetate on now. Now we don't want it sticking over the edges anywhere, so believe me, once it's down, it's down. So there we go. We've got the acetate stuck on there. Like I said, that is optional. But if you're going to decorate and you want to add something to it, then I've got a little, oh, there you go, a little rubbing alcohol there. Yeah, if you want to add something to it, then so you can just give it a wipe off with that. You can do that side as well. And that's that done. Ooh. To be honest, it doesn't look that much better. But anyway, that's our acetate. Maybe I'll get another one. I don't know if it picks, it might be picking stuff up from the board, which is more than likely. It's got a couple of little marks on it, but hey, there we go. All right, so that's the the acetate part that's in there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take this piece, which is, and we're going to have the bit with the 1 inch and 1/2 inch to the right. Where I'm picking up all these bits from. And then we have this 1 inch area on this side, which we're going to stick to the outside of there. So I'm just going to put some glue. Now you can use tape or you can use glue. It's entirely up to you what you use. But I'm going to be cutting out some bits, so it'll give this a bit of a time to stick. So I'm just going to pop this over on there and line it up there like that. Now I want it to line up properly because the next bit relies a little bit on this being nice and straight. I don't know where all these little dots are coming from. I must have something on my desk, I think. All right, so then this one is going to come over and we're going to just put glue onto this little 1/2 inch piece here. We're going to fold that whole piece under, and then we're going to stretch this out and press that down. So that basically gives us our 6 by 6. And now we have, this is where we're going to do our, hi Tanya, how are you? Hi Sue, never late. That's all good. All righty, so there we go. So then we've got that. Now this part here is where we're going to attach, because what we're going to have is it's going to sit up like that, but it will fold flat. Okay. Hi Daphne, how are you today? Okay, so I'm just going to now pop some glue onto here. And I'm just going to lay this on here like this. Make sure it's all nice and straight and push that down. I'm using the tissue because I don't know what I've got that's, you know, doing some funny stuff. So basically there is our diorama. So if you can see it laying down, but it actually sits up. It will sit up like, I think it just needs a bit of help, but yeah, it'll sit up like that. I think what I'll do is just give it an extra bit of a bolster there, maybe here, so that we've got all these nicely burnished. That might help the whole situation. There we go. So it's going to sit up nicely like that. All right, now this piece here is going to, it should have gone on there before I put it on, so I will cut that piece down and make it fit, so that's not a problem. And then here I've embossed, as I showed you before, and that is going to slip into here as the background. Okay, so I'm just trying to decide which way to do that. I'm going to do it that way because the embossing folder only came to here. So it left us about, what would that be? About a quarter, no, about a half an inch where the embossing folder didn't go. So I'm going to pop that up to the top because that is the piece that is least likely to be seen once we've got this standing up. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue on here and then I'm going to put that through. Just trying to find out which is my, this is my debossed side. So I've just added a little bit of extra glue on there too. And I want that bit at the top. So I'm just going to slide that in like that. And that also covers where we had the seam, if you like, from where we folded that piece there. So that gives us that. Now, because I didn't put that on to start with, I will remeasure. So basically, what have I got? I don't want centimeters. I've got 5 by 6. So let me cut that down. To 4 3/4. By 5. Let's see how that goes. We should be right with that side. Whoops, so I cut it a bit too short. Well, we can make that work. Or will I cut it? No, I want to cut another piece. I don't like that. So what did I say I had? I had 5 by 6. So the 6 we will do at let's go there. And the 5 we will go I think that might be a bit better. Let me have a look, see. That's a bit better. We've got a tiny I went a bit haywire with the other one. So we can stick that on the front there for the front of the card. Oh, Mum's got rain, has she? Let's have a look. Hi everyone, we have lovely rain this morning. We don't have rain here, Mum. It's overcast, but it's not raining. There we go. Awesome. All right, so I'm just going to pop this piece on here. And you can actually see now how it's all taking shape and making us that gorgeous little box. Now, I'm sure by now you've all worked out which set I'm going to use for my just want that to sit nicely. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So there we go. There's the box, and there's the. Now, I will cut a couple of pieces for up there afterwards, so that we can see that. But that looks nice with the. I don't know. Can you see the embossing in the background? So it gives it. Gives it something to. And the good thing is this is going to fold flat for a 6 by 6. So we can also put something on here. We can put something on here, which we will look at afterwards. Excuse me. It doesn't want to stand up again now. It does stand up. We've accomplished that. So anyway. All right. So now, there you go. Look at that. I think it just needs to be like burnished several times for it to get that stability there. There we go. All right, so now we're going to play around a little bit with what we're going to put in it. And I'd already sort of decided what I wanted to do. So I'd used the blue. So this is the Kintsugi Inspirations paper. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And I'm going to cut, what have I done with it? Here we go. Inspiring Imperfections is the die set. All right, so I'm definitely going to have one of the bigger vases. I'm definitely going to have a few of those flowers. And I'm thinking I might, because I've got that on the background, what's going to go with the blue? Should I use both on blue? Let me think about it. So I also want one of the bowls. So it'll either be that one down there, or I'll probably do some other bits as well, but that's the bits that I want for now. So I'm just going to whip those out of there. So I'll cut this one. I might actually do a couple of the bowls so that I can decide which one I'm going to put on there. So there's one, and that was my original thought. And I think it might disappear. And then, of course, I want some of these flowers. So we'll cut those out. Look, there's another bowl there I can cut now. So all right, so a little bit of cutting. And I was talking to Mum after the video yesterday, and she said, yes, I can hear your chair when you move out. I've got to look at some new ones. My brother put me on to some place yesterday, and I'll see. So I actually want two chairs. I want a new one for my main computer out on the other side, because my son came in one day and decided that he would sit on it. Now, what I like about these, as you can see, they cut into the blue. They don't leave a white. They don't leave a white edge like a lot of our. So let me do these little ones here. That's that one. Cutest little bowls, aren't they? And we'll do a blue one, because because I can't make up my mind. And then we'll do some flowers. Oh, I've got another bowl there. Let's do the other bowl. Choices here. And we might well use more than one. Okay, so we've got 3 choices for the bowls. Now we'll do some flowers. And I think these actually do leave a white edge. I'm not 100% sure. This is what you could do with 2 machines or 2 sets of dies, so that you can, oh no, they're not too bad. So there's one. Oops. And it all nice and set there, and then it moved. There we go. There's a second one. We'll do a third one, and hopefully that will be enough. So of course you can do these by actually colouring them yourself if you want to, and then stamping them, and then colouring them. But I think all the colours go so nicely together. All right, there's the third one. So we should have enough pieces to pop into our... So I was thinking I'd like one of the bowl, maybe one sitting inside. This is the fun part. So actually designing, if you like, what you're going to do on the inside, and then maybe another in there as well. And we can pop some flowers. So what you can do, you can actually pop flowers and leave them so that they're on the acetate but on the inside. So you can actually do that, but you need to make sure that you glue around where it's not going to show on the acetate. Okay, so we've got some flowers. So we could possibly move this one down and put a flower. I'll put a slit in that if I'm going to put the flower in there. And then I'm actually thinking that we could do with another... What other colour bowl? I didn't do another big one, did I? What do we think is going to go with that? Maybe this one here. I'll quickly cut that one. So we're not going to have a huge variety of decoration on this one because I don't think it's necessary. I'll just quickly cut another one of these. So we've got It's probably easier to have different colours in there than trying to, come on, in you go, nice and straight. Thank you. Than trying to just do it with one or two colours. Oh, we do have a little bit of white on this one, so obviously I didn't get that straight in there. Where's my middle scissors? I'll just put that off. Let's cut that round. So I'm thinking something like that for the inside, and maybe the flower on this one here. So what I like to do is put a little cut just in here so that I can poke the flower down inside like that. And I'll just stick that with a little bit of tape. Nobody's going to see it. Okay, so just stick that with a little bit of tape like that, and you've got the flower. So I thought maybe have the two vases. One. And I could possibly like that, but have the one with the flower in the middle. Now, if anyone's got any ideas here, yell at me because I'm happy to listen. And I'm happy to get ideas. So I was just thinking, like, you know how a lot of the Japanese stuff is very, you know, there's not a lot, if you like. And then I thought maybe we could pop a couple of these on the outside and each one have a flower. So just for, just like a little bonus one there. And possibly we could put something across the bottom here. Let me have a look at what we've got. What do you think of that? Does that look all right, do you think? Do you think we need anything in the tall vases? I'm thinking they look okay as they are. What could we do here? We could actually have, I just want to see what these do. What does that cut out? Must be up. So let's see what these do. I'm just going to grab a piece of maybe let's go with a piece of that's early espresso. Let's see what happens if I cut a piece of that. If I put that and that, I'm playing now. So I've got a couple of stems now. Move that out of the way. Where's my pokey tool? There it is. Easier than using a knife, I'm sure. So there's that. And there's a smaller one. Sort of do a little bit of ikebana stuff do another 2. Of those. Could you place a small vase in front of the larger vase to make it look like behind? Hang on, ladies, I've got to catch up. Ah, well, there you go, classes. Could you place a small vase in front of the larger vase to make it look like it's behind? I will have a little look-see. Which small vase are we looking at? Like this one? Sort of more like that? And that one? Is that what you were thinking? And then move these out, this one out slightly, so that, yeah, it does look like you've got the bigger vases behind. I'm just going to, I really am just playing, oh, sugar. Now I'll just drop that on the floor. I thought I'd lost, I don't know if I told you, I thought I'd lost one of the little deer out of my new sets the other day. And I really wasn't happy at all. I'm thinking, not that one, maybe this one. Maybe the panel one. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to, I've got a feeling this might be little flowers. I believe it is. So let's see what happens. Is it one piece? I think it's one piece, but it's little flowers. Oh, that's rather cute. I'm just looking at these like twig-like pieces because often they have those sorts of pieces. But what I'm actually thinking, and maybe use the smaller ones, is put those, whoops, like across the top there. Oh, they are fiddly. Put those across there with like the flowers in between or something. Although I feel like it needs to have the flowers coming off of it. I could always do that. Thoughts. Overlapping a bit. Do you mean on the inside or the outside? So let me put a hole in this one so that I can, and then I'll fiddle with this other bits and pieces. I'll just put a slit in this one so that I can get the flower in. Because we don't actually cut. I don't like seeing the flowers just sticking out from the stem coming out of one of the smaller front vases. The larger one or the smaller one? Do you mean like, I'd have to stick it on the back now, sort of like this, or a larger one like something like that? Actually, that looks quite good because I can sort of put it over both. I'll tape that one down. This tape's low tack, so if necessary, I can take it off. So we could sort of do something like that and have it coming up. Yeah, the longer one, the smaller one. The longer one looks good. Okay. Now let me pop this flower in here, and then let's take this longer one because I should be able to actually pop it in there with the flower. So just one, or did you think both? Let's see if I can get these. These are so skinny that it's hard to actually pokey it in. There we go. So that one, actually I could put that one the other side. This is where usually you take your time and organize it, and I would have liked to have been doing that this morning. Take that behind there because it's not going to sit. And maybe do that one like that. I think one would look better, but oh yeah, me too. I'm a bit like that. But what I could do is I could take this one out of here and put one on one side and then have one in the middle there. But then we've still got two, haven't we? Okay. How about if we were to put another one? I know what you're saying. I'm very much, we'd still have two, but we'd have three branches if I do it this way. So that might solve the problem. So we could maybe put this one and this one, put that one back in the middle, this one over, sort of do it like, it's awkward because you've got to work in behind. Now, I don't know that I can use, how about something like that, or is this too much? Because I can't have it over the side. How does that look? Maybe let's take maybe this one off because that's one that I didn't actually stick in. So we could do that, and we can have those on the inside. How do you feel about that? Yep, we could do that. Let's do that. So first off, we need to put these two blue ones down. Now I'm just thinking it won't go flat if I put dimensionals. But should we try? I might put dimensionals on the front one. Let's see. I don't think these two necessarily need anything in them because I think it might overpower it. So this is the awkward bit, peoples. So we're going to put that one there. Maybe tweezers might help. And maybe that one there. That helps to keep it off the... Yep, do that. And I'm going to try and put a couple of dimensionals under here and see how it works. Let's see how we go. Maybe 3. Let me use these tweezers again. So that's now up a little bit. So we could do that. And then we can look at maybe this one here because I don't want it, I don't need it to go over there. And then just this plain one down here. I think that looks okay. Oh, you know what I've done? Oh, it doesn't matter actually if it sticks to the acetate. As long as it doesn't squelch out, we're fine. And then this one, I probably should have put that one a little bit closer in, but that's okay. And then this one, and I'll just chop that branch off a little bit, can go there. How's that? How does that look? That give us like a little, you like it? Excellent. Excellent. All right. So that's that. What I need to do really is to cut some of that blue. This is 1 inch by 6. And is that 1 inch? Yep, just under. So let's have a look at this. Move these back in here before I lose them. Move all my rubbish. Now, did I cut this to less than 6? Yeah. Okay. How much less than 6? Let's just try this. Actually, that'll fit on there nicely. And then do this one. Three-quarters. Yep, and I'll stick those on there, which will give it a bit more. So we'll pop those. Oops. These cards take a bit more time to play with, don't they? There's that one. And there's that one. So that makes the top of it look a little bit more thingy. Now, so we've got, now it wants to go the other way. My goodness. So I'm going to put a something on the back here, like a piece of white on the back, or another piece of the cream to, I think she may have used maybe some heavier card, I don't know, but it will stand. It's just getting it to do it. That's annoying me because when we had it earlier, it worked. It's going to move down. That's okay. All right. So we across here we can put a sentiment. So I like the "You Inspire Me," but it's very small for that. So I was thinking, oh, I don't know. I really like something like this one. Change Can Be Beautiful. I really love that. And I would love to put that on there. But I might have a think about it because I'm not sure where it's going to go or what it's going to do yet. And I might. Yeah, that does poke out. So we'll snip that so that it doesn't poke out. And I don't know why it doesn't want to. It wants to fall forward or back. Oh, no, there has to be a way to make that. It needs to be more stable in there. Maybe another piece in there. I don't know. But anyway, there is a diorama card for today. So this one is, it's only sort of like, well, it's three-dimensional because you've got the embossing on the back. It folds flat. You can make a belly band, which I think I would be inclined to do. So if I do that, I will show you all tomorrow. Yeah, I will have a think on it, and I'll also have a think on it really should stand up. Also, I have used quite a heavy acetate, which probably doesn't help the issue. But yeah, it is beautiful. It's a lovely card. I'm really, really happy with that. And I think I would put a nice sentiment on here. And then I would add a piece at the back here for you know, putting signatures and whatever on. But it's a beautiful little card, that one. And 6x6, easy enough to make an envelope if you don't have 6x6 envelopes. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Quite happy with it. All right. So, and I will work out why it's not standing up. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, as soon as I sort of saw this one, I thought it just needs something simple. It doesn't need a lot in there. So let me pop up to, there we go. Yeah, I'm more than happy with that one. So I will find a way to have that standing. It probably just needs a bit more burnishing or something in the right places. So yeah, maybe something like that there, and burnish it down there. But everything's where it should be, so it's possible. Yeah, anyway. Alrighty, well, that's me for today. I'll be back again tomorrow. Now, Wednesday, I do 7 p.m. So hopefully I will see some of you then. I know that there are some of you that can't make it at 7 p.m., but there is always the replay. So thank you so much for watching me today. And just remember, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe, press the notification, and I will see you all tomorrow. So take